Hello everyone, welcome to Solo Wolf's channel. Imagine waking up every morning and looking down at the city from the 59th floor. It feels almost unreal, as if you are floating above everything else. Yet in Hong Kong, this isn't as unusual as it sounds. When I tell people in the UK that I once lived on the 59th floor, they imagine I must have been rich. They picture a luxury penthouse with sweeping views. The reality is very different. In Hong Kong, high-rise living is the norm. Many newer public housing blocks reach over 35 stories. Ordinary families live in towers that scrape the clouds, while houses with gardens are reserved for the wealthy few. One of the biggest adjustments is the reliance on lifts. Walking up and down 59 floors simply isn't an option. Elevators become part of your routine in a way that people in low-rise countries might never consider. There's always that worry. What if the lift breaks down? What if there's a fire? Past tragedies like the Gali building disaster still echo in people's minds. But today's high-rises are built with refuge floors, straighter fire cooks, and escape routes. Fire is not something that you think about every day. The more common frustration is crowded lifts during rush hour. Waiting can feel as routine as waiting for a bus in the suburbs. The buildings themselves are more than just homes. Many private towers sit on top of podiums filled with malls, parking, and leisure facilities. Parking is so expensive that a single spot can cost more than a new house in the UK. But the real attraction is the convenience of the mall underneath. You can shop for groceries, see a doctor, or grab dinner without ever stepping outside. Some developments go further. They sit directly above metro stations, linked by covered walkways. Lohas Park connects to its own MTR stop and has a mall with a giant ice rinks and cinemas. Union Square above Kowloon Station, Tafel Gardens at Kowloon Bay, and the Palazzo at Fo Tan all follow the same model. People pay a premium to live in these vertical villages, where you can live, shop, commute, and play without leaving the complex. But not all high-rise stories are glamorous. Hong Kong also has its darker side of housing. Over 200,000 people live in subdivided flats, some only 6 square meters, half the size of a parking space. And in recent years, developers have marketed so-called nano flats. This can be as small as 150 square feet, about the size of a hotel room. Many young buyers pour their life savings into these units, not because they want to, but because they have no other realistic chance of owning a home. To outsiders, it looks like a compromise too far. To locals, it's often the only way to climb onto the property ladder. The contrast is striking. On one hand, glamorous towers with gyms and cinemas. On the other hand, nano flats where fitting a bed and desk feels like a puzzle. Property ownership in Hong Kong is also unusual. When you buy a flat, you don't really own a piece of land. You own a share of the whole development, which gives you the right to live in your unit. This system fits an ultra-dense city where every inch of land is precious. Yet the density also brings convenience. Most estates are only minutes from bus stops or metro stations. Walking and public transport are part of daily life. Without realizing it, Hong Kongers often get more exercise than people in car-dependent countries like the UK or US. It's a lifestyle that is crowded but efficient, stressful at times, yet healthier in subtle ways. Living on the 59th floor may sound extreme, but in Hong Kong, it was simply part of ordinary life. The flat itself was smaller than the semi-detached house I now live in here in the UK. There was no garden, no driveway, no garage, but it gave me proximity to everything I needed. And it offered a view that people here would pay fortunes to enjoy. It was a trade off: space for convenience, private comfort for shared infrastructure. Looking back, it taught me that where and how we live is always shaped by the city around us. For some, vertical living is unimaginable. For Hong Kongers, it's just home. If you enjoyed this glimpse into life high above streets, please remember to like, subscribe, and share.